You guys want to know the difference between Dallas and Frisco, and I think you're going to get a kick out of it because we've gotten so many requests on our viewers wanting to know where to live. There are some really great similarities, but there are huge differences as well. First of all, the biggest difference is the size. Dallas is sitting at about 1.3 million. I'm actually here right now at Clyde Warren Park, which is a park built right in downtown and has such great things. Like right here, this guy's about to do yoga. It's a rainy day. There's turf, so it's not really dirty. And then behind me, you can see that there are food trucks. On Saturdays and Sundays, this place is packed with things to do and fun restaurants and food trucks galore. So Dallas is sitting at about 1.3 million and Frisco's a little over 200,000. So that, just off the cuff, is one of the biggest. Frisco is the fastest growing city, well, one of the fastest growing cities in the nation right now. Out of about 417 cities in the state of Texas, Frisco is listed at 7th and Dallas is actually 86th. So there is a little bit of a difference there. And that all comes from niche.com, and they're looking at all kinds of things like crime rate, diversity, what all there is to do, cost of living. So they kind of put everything in there to determine those standings. And the fact that Dallas is a huge metropolitan city, there's going to be a higher crime rate. That's hard to, look past. Somebody asked me once, I was showing them houses in Dallas, and they were like, what's the crime rate in this specific part of Dallas? And I was like, it doesn't matter because it's all of Dallas. And so yeah, inner city is going to be worse, but subdivisions are going to be less, but you could do a mile radius anywhere in Dallas and it's going to be higher crime than Frisco, because Frisco's 30 minutes north of here and there's just less population. So it does matter. Now, as far as school districts, Frisco trumps most everyone. They just have a really great school district. And so Dallas, because it's a major metropolitan city, again, that kind of hurts its school ratings. But there are pockets of really great schools down here. So if that's something that you want and you want to live in Dallas, then contact me. You can text me right below. I'd also love for you to subscribe to our channel, but call me and text me and let me tell you where those great schools are. If you don't want to send a public, there are really great private schools down here as well, and I've got all of that information. But as far as Frisco, it's kind of nice because you've got great schools out there that you may not have to spend the money on private school. You could save that money because it is expensive, because Frisco schools are so good. Not only are they academically good, but they've got super elite athletics, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. As far as higher level education, Frisco has the University of North Texas. They have a brand new campus there that will eventually be a medical school. But Dallas has Dallas Baptist University. They have Southern Methodist University, SMU. So they have elite universities here as well. As far as shopping, dining, entertainment, both cities offer a lot, but Dallas they're just gonna have more nightlife because it's so much bigger. So you've got the Dallas Mavericks, you've got the Dallas Stars, you've got the Dallas Cowboys, you've got the Dallas Arboretum, you've got sightseeing, you've got every restaurant imaginable, every type of food that you would ever want, every ethnicity, every language. It's prolific down here. You've got arts and fashion. You've got a whole design district, which we'll talk about. You've got the Dallas Aquatic Center, White Rock Lake, that is amazingly beautiful to walk around. So there's just a ton to do. Beyond that, you can just walk around down here. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily as a female walk by myself at night, but in groups, it's totally safe. And I just think that if you love that city feel, then down here is the place for you. As far as Dallas dining, you really can get anything. I'm gonna list a few that are really well known, so that if you're here, you may want to check them out. I could do a whole video just on Dallas dining though. I probably could do multiple videos on Dallas dining. So first of all, we've got the Burger House. It's been open since 1951, and the original one is right by SMU, so definitely check that out. Cafe Pacific, it's been in the Park Cities since about 1980. This place is a place for power lunch. So from seafood and steak, it's amazing. There is a dress code and it's strictly enforced, so do not show up in shorts and a t-shirt. The Park Cities include Highland Park and University Park, and I'm going to show you a couple of houses in those two cities because they're, two of the wealthiest cities in the nation. You've also got Gold Rush Cafe. This is a breakfast, kind of a breakfast diner. It's in Lakewood. It is Amazing probably for all the hangovers of the world, because you can go in and get what's called the John Wayne, and it's eggs and hash browns and bacon and all the good things that you would want on a brunch Saturday morning or Sunday morning. So definitely try that out. And then of course I will end it with Nick and Sam's. It's one of the most luxury steakhouses here in Dallas. Definitely you pay for your steaks. Probably going to be anywhere from $200 to $400 for a couple to go eat there, and have drinks, which include alcohol, have your steaks. It's just a really nice place to go. You get to dress up, but they have valet. It's just really nice. You should definitely check it out if you want that high-end dining experience. Of course, Dallas shopping, you can't equate it with anything else, because you really can find anything here, from used to extravagantly expensive and everything in between. You've got North Park Mall, you've got the Galleria, and you've got Highland Park Village, which is the swankiest of the swanks. And you can just find anything, vintage, whatever you want, you can find it down here, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to go find those pieces that nobody else has. That somebody's like, oh, where did you get that? And you're like, haha, because you're not gonna be able to get it because I got it at this cute little, vintage place in Dallas. And I love that. I love not wearing things that other people are wearing. So the Dallas median home price is actually less than Frisco. It's $466,000 less, actually. And that's because we have a denser population down here, so you've got a lot more condos and townhomes and apartments. They're just more cost effective down here per capita. Now, you can definitely feel a denser population down here. You're gonna have way more traffic. I used to live down here for 6 years, and then I moved to Frisco. And now when I drive down here, I'm like, I don't even understand how I did it, because people can cut you off and flip you off, and that doesn't happen in Frisco. It really doesn't. People will wave you through and wait on you, and it's just nice. So those are two major differences that I have personally experienced. One great thing about Dallas is it's got public transportation, and that is not something Frisco has. Frisco has Uber, but if you need public transportation like bus or the train, then you do need to come down to Dallas and use it, because we do not have it in Frisco. Okay, now I'm gonna take you around to some of the areas. See what I'm talking about? Honkin'. I'm gonna take you to some of the areas, and it's raining, so I'm gonna show you a lot of video and pictures, and I'm gonna probably just do voiceover for this one, but I'm gonna show you the different areas of Dallas versus Frisco, so let's get to it. So I'm totally braving the rain for you guys today. Okay, we're in Highland Park, and oh, sorry, that was my umbrella tag. Highland Park and University Park make up the Park Cities, and Highland Park's got a unique story to it. It was actually given its name in 1906 because it sits up on a higher elevated piece of land that kind of overlooks downtown Dallas, so it was named Highland Park. And when they established it, it was actually an architect from Beverly Hills that plotted out Highland Park, and he carved out about 20% of it to stay as parks. So there's lots of green space here. That guy's name was Wilbur Cook. A couple of things that you need to know about Highland Park is, one, it's in Dallas, literally inside of Dallas, but it is not Dallas. In fact, in 1913, Highland Park actually asked Dallas if they could annex themselves, and Dallas said no. They turned them down. And so about 500 residents in Highland Park turned to the city and they incorporated it. So they became their own entity. And then Dallas tried to annex Highland Park, and Highland Park said no. So it was this huge battle. It actually went on for 30 years. But as of now, Highland Park, it's a separate city that happens to be inside of Dallas. And Highland Park has its own school system. So it's called Highland Park ISD. University Park also feeds into that. They actually brought University Park in because it would give them more property taxes to go towards the schools. So they kind of banded together, and currently Highland Park is ranked 4 out of over 1,000 ISDs in the state of Texas for athletics. There are several past students from Highland Park that play in the NFL and different other sports. So they do produce cream of the crop. And the average SAT score for Highland Park is 1330, which is outstanding. The average value of a house in Highland Park is $4.1 million, so it is higher, and the average household income is about $430,000. So it does have a very high socioeconomic status. There are currently right now 39 houses listed The highest is 17.5 million. The lowest is actually 975,000, and it's a tiny little cottage, super cute. I'm gonna show you this one behind me. Can you guys see it? That one is currently listed for 8.5 million. So, but you can see just as I'm walking, all of the beautiful houses in Highland Park. And this is just one street. There are streets. Sorry, I don't mean to get you dizzy. There are streets after streets after streets that are just stunning. And because they've been here so long, they have great trees and, you know, foliage, and there's pride of ownership, and there's just so much beauty down here. So if you come to Dallas, take a stroll through Highland Park and University Park, because you will not be disappointed in how beautiful it is. So now we're in University Park, and this is the prettiest street. I'm gonna show you guys. Let me turn. So these houses are just beautiful. The streets are wide, the parking is wonderful. The houses sit back on the lot because the lots are bigger, so it gives you more of a front yard, and it's just stunning. And so I'm gonna give you a few stats on University Park. So University Park, Highland Park, is number 4 out of 708 places with the best public schools in Texas, and number 8 out of 416 best suburbs to live in Texas. So both of those are pretty darn fantastic. Kids growing up here are definitely gonna go to Highland Park ISD, because that's where everybody goes. There are 8 schools in the ISD. There's around 6,500 students throughout the whole ISD, so it's pretty small. And I'm pretty sure they have 5 elementary schools, one middle school, 1 intermediate school, and then 1 high school, which is Highland Park High School. The average household income is $250,000, so it's a little bit different than Highland Park. Highland Park is the upper scale of the two. The average home price is $3.2 million. Right now there are 28 houses listed in University Park. The highest price is $18 million. The lowest currently right now is $1.2 million. And this one, this white one behind us, you see it? It's currently listed for $9.45 million. So it kind of, sorry, y'all got real close to me for a second because it's raining, and the wind. But I just wanted to show you guys how pretty it is down here and what houses look like that go for that type of money. But you're also paying for the area and the shopping and the community, the friends, the family, the safety. Highland Park has its own police department outside of Dallas, and so it's just patrolled really well. So the safety increases a lot in Highland Park compared to the rest of Dallas. So anyway, let's go to the next place. So as far as entertainment or dining or whatever in Frisco, there is so much. I'm here at the Star because I wanted to show y'all what it's like down here. But you've got the Star, the practice stadium, you've got this where everybody's always playing and bringing their kids, and then you've got all the restaurants around here, including, but not limited to, the Marriott right here. We now have the PGA headquarters, which is north of us. We're gonna have Universal Studios in 2026, so that's crazy. We have the Soccer National Hall of Fame. We have the Dude Perfect headquarters. I don't know if you guys know who they are, but look them up if you don't. We have a National Video Game Museum. It's the only one like it. It's amazing, so you should try to go there if you can. And of course, we have FC Dallas at the Toyota Stadium, our soccer team. Now, the Star is a great place to come to grab food. You've got Tupelo Honey, which is amazing. It's more southern food. You've got Wahlburgers, you've got Bottle and Bond. They do craft cocktails. They specialize in whiskey, and it goes all the way back 125 years. Now, a lot of the restaurants down here, they aesthetically are unbelievably beautiful. So they're picturesque. You can do your social media videos. You know, all the girls take photos and videos and do their reels inside these restaurants because they're super elaborate. The Monarch Stag is one of them. It's a tiny little restaurant, but during the evenings, I think you can only go there during the evenings. You'll need to make a reservation, but they have an aerialist that performs from the ceiling, so it's pretty cool, right above the tables. And then of course, Trick Rider, that's not here, it's actually up at the PGA, is just an unbelievable restaurant with a crystal horse that floats in the air. It's pretty cool. And if you're at the PGA, definitely try it because the steaks are amazing. Frisco does have really cool shopping. They have the basics, you know, your Targets and all of that, but Down here in the Star, they have a shop called Flea Style, which is a lot of fun. It's actually in the corner way over there, so you have to walk over there. And inside Flea Style, they have a little tea room called Heirloom, and it's a lot of fun if you want to take your kiddos there, or just your girlfriends or your guy friends. Y'all guys can go too. They also have a custom hat area where you can brand and build your own hats and put the bands on them. It's a lot of fun. We also have Stonebriar. It's a huge mall, so you do have all of the ease of convenience. Now, I do want to point out the Fields. Everybody knows I love the Fields. I've done so many videos on them, and I'm going to go over it a little bit more in just a second. But if you haven't seen Legacy West in Plano, Fields West is being built as we speak. And it's the same architect that built Legacy West, but it's going to be 2.5 times larger. And it's going to be epic. I believe it's going to be the epicenter of Frisco once it's built, which is why I am so big on the Fields and building or buying a house in the Fields right now, because the equity is going to be amazing. But you'll be able to walk to Fields West. There's going to be 3 hotels, all kinds of restaurants and dining and upper scale shops and twinkle lights. There's going to be an outdoor amphitheater for live concerts. There's going to be all these lakes that you can walk around. People will be able to have, well, we're supposed to have golf carts. The mayor said he's trying to get it to where golf carts are allowed on all these trails, but it's just going to be stunning, and I can't wait for it. But just know that's coming in 2026 as well. You've also got downtown Main Street that's got some fun and quirky little shops down there that you can get unique items. And then we've got Frisco Town Square, which also has a ton of shopping, restaurants. It's got a cigar bar. And at Christmas, they light the whole, I mean, there's so many lights down there, and it's all to music, so it's a lot of fun. You also need to check out Nerdvana. It's a restaurant, but also has video games and stuff. It's a lot of fun. Okay, for people that are interested in moving to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I do think you need to understand that Dallas and Frisco are both really great places to live, but because Frisco is smaller and newer, there are things it's going to offer that Dallas can't, and vice versa. So in Frisco, you're going to see more master planned communities. Dallas is older. The concept of master planned community wasn't really a thought process back when it was first established. So there are less of them. I guess I feel like Frisco, that's all there are these master planned communities that offer these amazing amenities. So let's talk about Frisco just for a little bit. In the median home price in Frisco as of the filming of this video is about $670,000. And I'm going to go over a few of the favorite subdivisions so that you can kind of decide which way you want to go. And of course, text me, call me. I will help you figure out what is the best choice for you and your family. First, we have Hunters Creek. It's a neighborhood on the east side of Frisco. A lot of the ones I'm going to talk about are on the west side of Frisco. It's near the 121 and the Dallas North Tollway, so you can really get places fast. And it was built 2001 to 2006. The price range is going to be probably that 500,000 range. You might get 400,000 price range here or there, but really it's going to be 500,000 and up. The next one is Stonebriar neighborhood. It's on the south side of Frisco, and you have Stonebriar Mall as well as the Country Club. But it's higher socioeconomic, so it is gated and guarded. It's super hard to get in there. And it was built in the 80s, with some of them being built in the, early 2000s. So a lot of these houses, you're going to buy them and possibly need to renovate or at least bring them up to your desired style. If you love the older look, then, more power to you. You don't have to do anything. These are going to range from probably, you might be able to find some in the 4s, but they're going to range all the way up to $3.5 million and everything in between. So you have a lot of flexibility there on price. It does have an HOA. You can join the country club. It's more of a lifestyle. Chapel Creek is a gorgeous neighborhood, and it's got custom homes built in the 2000s. It's beautiful in the fact that it's got mature trees and wide streets, and everybody really takes care of their yards. It's in a very central location, also by the Dallas North Tollway and 121. It has less than 1,000 residents and about 230 homes. So it's a bit of a smaller feel. I would say you're looking at 500,000 all the way up to a couple of million. The next one is Newman Village. I've actually done videos on Newman Village if you'd like to go get a more in-depth view of it. This neighborhood, it does have some newer construction. It's kind of the upper echelon. It's also gated and guarded. It's 5 miles from downtown Frisco. It's smack dab in the middle of Frisco. It began being built around 2010. It's got a rec center. It's got a community pool, tennis courts, definitely some great amenities. And before the Fields became a thing, Newman Village was kind of the place to be in that higher socioeconomic. So now you've got Newman Village, you've got the hills of Kingswood, Starwood, Stonebriar, and now the Fields and the Preserve, which are going to kind of they elevate. Those are a lot of the gated, guarded communities. Not everything in the Fields is gated and guarded. The Preserve will be. Starwood, I just mentioned that one. It's also gated and guarded. It is a golf course community as well. It's got luxury. It's amazing. The square footage ranges anywhere from 1,800 all the way up to almost 15,000. And the homes are going to be anywhere from $500,000 all the way up to $4 or $5 million. So there's lots of room there as well. Edgestone, I love Edgestone because it's a little bit more modern. It's a newer. One of the great things about the neighborhood, it actually has 2 community pools, one at each ends of the neighborhood as well as playgrounds. It also has trails built throughout the neighborhood and a fitness center. One thing that people love about this specific subdivision is the HOAs are lower than some of the other master planned communities. And you're looking at anywhere from 800,000 all the way up to 2 million in this one because the houses are newer. Okay, and then of course, last but not least, I have to talk to you guys about the Fields because it's literally the biggest equity play that Dallas-Fort Worth's ever probably going to see. They're calling it a 50-year neighborhood because we're probably not going to see that type of equity again in the next 50 years. So you do need to pay attention to the Fields, to Brookside South. That's what they're building right now. Brookside North will come next. If you haven't looked up the Fields West, you need to look it up. It's unbelievable what they're building. I truly believe, like I said earlier in the video, that it's going to be the epicenter of Frisco once it's built. The people that are buying now are going to have so much equity in their house in the next 3 to 5 years that it's going to be silly. It's going to be overwhelming. I mean, the first couple of people that closed on their houses in Brookside South, by the time they contracted and then they closed, they already had 100,000 in equity and they hadn't even moved in yet. The rest of it's not even built yet. And so, like I've said in my other videos, getting into phase 1 in a new development is going to give you the best equity, and then put on top of it Brookside South, which will be walking distance to Fields West, and it'll be connected to the Preserve, which is gated, guarded. The Preserve is being touted as probably going to be the most luxurious, high-end neighborhood in the nation. I mean, houses up to 25, 30 million will be in the Preserve. And what's cool is the Preserve is going to be gated and guarded, and it's on the golf course with the PGA. And there are 232 lots available in the first phase. They're already being sold. It's kind of a circular deal. Well, the middle houses of that circle are up on a ridge. So they're going to be 30, 35 feet higher than all the other houses. So the view is going to be epic. And then, of course, the perimeter will have normal golf course views. But you're talking about amazing lots. So that you can't get into the Preserve, probably less than 3 or 4 million. Again, gated and guarded, but it's going to go all the way up to 25 million. And so phase 2, 232 homes. The second phase will be 200 homes. Phase 1 is always going to be better priced than phase 2, always. So just know that. Now, Brookside North, it's not being developed yet. There are about, I guess, close to 500 lots. And it will be super luxury, and it will be closer to Fields West than Brookside South, but Brookside South is open now, so you're getting that first phase equity, and it just matters. This community, they're calling it a $10 billion community because of everything that's going into it. And so you definitely need, if you want a brand new house in a really great city with equity that would blow your mind, then text me and let's look at the fields. You can get into the fields in the 700s for a townhome. But if you're wanting a single family, normal sized lot, you're looking at around $1 million to $1.5 million, and it goes all the way up to $3 million. You're going to love me in 3 to 5 years. I showed you guys Frisco. Let me show you guys Dallas. So the Dallas median home price is $466,000. It's less than Frisco. So Lower Greenville, this is an area known as kind of a party hub of Dallas. There's tons of bars and clubs. Honestly, you could probably live in Lower Greenville for a full year and not experience everything that there is, not the restaurants and the coffee shops and the live venues with music. There's great shopping, there's vintage shopping, art galleries. There's so many things that you could do down there. So there's also Preston Highlands. This is a really diverse population. There's about 5,400 people. You've got tons of coffee shops, lots of parks, bars, restaurants. It's a really fun vibe. And so the neighborhood was actually voted the #1 in best neighborhoods to live in Dallas by niche.com. And you're going to see a mix of singles and families, multicultural. You can find everything there. And that's mainly because the school ratings are so good in that area. I think the average home price is about $675,000. You've also got Knox Henderson. I really like Knox Henderson because there's a lot of new townhomes and condos and little cute houses. It's a central location. You can get anywhere fast because it's right off 75. You're going to see lots of singles as well as married and a lot of families. It's really close to the Katy Trail, which is a huge trail to walk, bike, run, take your dogs. I guess you could take your cats if your cats do leashes. You also have 2 parks. You've got Cochran Park and Garrett Park. It's a lot of fun. There's public transportation down there. It's super close to downtown Dallas. If you work downtown, you can live in Knox Henderson and it not be downtown, but close to downtown. The average home price in that area is about $750,000. Then you've got Oaklawn. I actually used to live in Oaklawn. It's got a very vibrant vibe to it. It's an upscale neighborhood. It's got a lot of, chic boutique bars and clubs and even some country western dance halls that you can go to. If you really like to be outside, you can walk down to Turtle Creek Park. It's by Turtle Creek, which is a whole different area. It's got, I guess, Oaklawn. Turtle Creek would be inside Oaklawn. It's a great area. There's a lot of green space, lots of places to walk. You're really close to Love Field, which is the airport. The other airport, the main airport's DFW. In Oaklawn, you're going to have lots of apartment complexes. You're going to have lots of townhomes, condos. You're going to have high rises that you can purchase. You don't have to rent them. A bunch of beautiful homes, brownstones. So lots of modern craftsman, bungalows, historical homes. And that's probably going to have an average price of about $650,000 because of the condos and the townhomes. You've also got Uptown. If you're looking for a place to live, you can basically walk anywhere. Uptown is really close to Oaklawn. It's actually in between Oaklawn and Knox Henderson. So the average home price is about $600,000. Lots of condos, single families as well. There's high rises as well. But you can literally walk to food and shopping and get your nails done, whatever you want to do. There's a lot of young professionals here. It's very high transit. People are coming and going all the time. Deep Ellum is definitely a different place and it's more industrial. It's very cool though. There's a lot of rehab that has gone into this and made it very trendy. There's a ton of cool bars, restaurants, art galleries, boutiques, craft beer places that you can go and taste unique beer. Lots of brick, lots of exposed brick, concrete, vines, all the fun things that come with that urban feel. Living down there, you're going to have access to a lot of the bars, a lot of live music. It's very artsy. So that would be the kind of place that you'd want to go if you live in that vibe. The average price on this one is going to be about $480,000 to $500,000. Bishop Arts. Now, I love the Bishop Arts. They have done a lot of renovation down there. If you visit, you're not going to be surprised that it was voted as one of the #1 places for singles to live in Dallas because it's super eclectic, super trendy. Everybody walks everywhere. There's coffee shops. There's art galleries. There's cute little eclectic shops. There's definitely lots of single families down there as well. The houses are super cute. A lot of them are historical. A lot of them have been scraped and rebuilt, so they're brand new. But there's a huge price range down there, but I would say the average is about 500 to 550. Okay, well, I hope that I gave you a good view of Dallas versus Frisco and the fact that Frisco's the up and coming place. And if you have any questions, text me. Please subscribe to our channel and like us. It always helps us out. If you have any questions on any of these cities, or if you have seen a city that you want more information on, text me or call me. I will get you those answers ASAP. Thank you for watching. And until the next video, we hope you have a great and wonderful day.